Everything you know about thinking is missing its fuel source. We think of consciousness as a switch, flipped by electrical spikes in localized regions. But what if your awareness isn't just electricity? What if it's governed by metabolic dialogue? Your brain operates like an incredibly delicate biochemical engine where subtle changes in nutrient flux are not background noise. They are the operational code itself. Think about cellular resilience. When mitochondria falter, or when glial cells transmit messages based on local metabolite buildup, that doesn't just mean tiredness. It means a fundamental systemic dissonance reflecting your internal state. This is metabolic fractalism at work. We aren't studying signals alone. We're reading the resonance of life itself through its chemistry. We often think of consciousness as just software running on hardware, but that view misses the operating environment entirely. It's not enough to check if the computer is working. You have to look at the power grid keeping it alive. Think of metabolic signaling like an ecosystem. A tiny shift in resource availability changes everything above it. Our research points to this deep dependency. We're seeing how cellular fuel cycles, specifically mitochondrial efficiency and NAD+ ratios, act as foundational stability for integrated thought. Furthermore, even the communication between brain cells, the astrocytes interacting with neurons, is regulated by local nutrient levels reflecting global state. Think about your body not as a single computer, but like an entire networked ecosystem running under constant stress or coherence. How the individual cells talk to each other is deeply tied to their energy budget, almost like how traffic flow dictates city mood, a metabolic dialogue happening right inside us. We are discovering that cellular cycles of renewal and breakdown, which we call metabolic fractalism, aren't just housekeeping. They reflect deep systemic patterns across every scale. This isn't local information processing at all. It suggests our entire physical state is constantly broadcasting a resonance or dissonance back to itself through processes like allostatic echoes, which means something nobody expected for the nature of subjective awareness. How does your cellular fuel line tell you how you feel? It's not just energy, it's dialogue. Think of the brain less as a computer and more as a massive metabolic city where every neighborhood, every cell type, is sending traffic reports to others through specialized waste products. When things are coherent, metabolites flow smoothly across glial boundaries, creating what we call allostatic echoes that reflect global system stability. But some researchers argue this dialogue is overstated or purely localized stress response. What if the very cycles of self-renewal and cellular pruning you undergo, autophagy, are actually how information itself gets restructured at a foundational level? We are hitting the energetic economy of awareness, and I have to know what happens next. Imagine if our brains weren't just supercomputers running code, but something closer to a vast city powered by an intricate energy grid. We used to think consciousness was all about the electrical signals firing between neurons. But what if those metabolic whispers, the way local metabolites flow and react in glial cells, are actually how information is shared? This isn't simple fuel delivery. It's metabolic dialogue. It means your cellular environment reflects a global state, like reading the weather patterns of an entire planet just by smelling one specific molecule. The system sends out allostatic echoes reflecting its coherence or stress. But when this metabolic dialogue reaches a critical threshold, when things get truly fractal in their self-renewal cycles, what actual change happens to awareness itself? That's the next piece we need to see. We've been treating consciousness like a software program running on a static piece of hardware. But what if the brain isn't just energy? It is actively speaking through its metabolism. Think of cellular communication not as discrete signals, but as an entire complex conversation driven by chemical flow. If your internal engine runs optimally, if those mitochondrial cycles are perfectly synchronized, the whole system hums with coherence. But when that metabolic harmony breaks down, the echoes resonate everywhere, changing how we think and feel, long before any visible symptom appears. The deepest architecture of mind might simply be dictated by the efficiency of its underlying energy economy. The whole picture reveals something profound. If awareness is not just a software program running on our brain, but an emergent property of its metabolic environment, then optimization must start at the most fundamental level. Think of your body like a finely tuned orchestra. If the instruments aren't nourished and maintained by perfect energetic harmony, the performance will always be dissonant. The takeaway is it just about adding supplements. It is prioritizing deep cellular efficiency through targeted nutritional states to stabilize those core metabolic systems. When that underlying architecture coheres, complexity in thought naturally follows. Your capacity for awareness directly reflects your mitochondrial fluency. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. Forget localized computing units thinking of consciousness as just software running on hardware. What if your awareness is a reflection of the entire metabolic conversation happening inside you? Think of cellular systems not like separate parts, but like complex planetary orbits where subtle shifts in energy and waste dictate everything that happens next. The key takeaway isn't optimizing one pathway, it's cultivating systemic coherence from the ground up. Ensuring mitochondrial resilience allows your nervous system to truly express its complexity. This shift moves us beyond disease prevention into a true understanding of self-organization itself. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.